Welcome, Glass Cannon Naish, to the Wicked Empire! Take a sniff of the old black rainbow and join us for an action-packed Dungeons & Dragons 5e campaign set on an island of criminal skullduggery, forbidden pleasures, and illicit drug use. We have an incredible cast of players here. Let's go ahead and say hi. Right here I have Ross Bryant. Ross, what's the hardest drug you ever did?
Coming right out of the gate and have me just reveal on Mr. Zuckerberg's internet what my
allegedly.
What's the hardest drug you ever allegedly did? And by the way, I think we have your mom in the chat. Okay, go ahead.
Come on. Caffeine.
Oh wow. Caffeine is it's a drug. You guys agree with that?
Yeah.
I say as I sip my coffee.
Yeah, it's definitely either caffeine or some other light fantastic that I've tripped over the years. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I'm afraid to ask this. Clare Grant, hardest drug you've ever done?
Jared.
No one's going to share with me? Was this too personal?
We could just say a lot of them.
Okay, so you kind of mix them all together into just a big cocktail.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's usually fine. If I'm at a party, if I'm at like a really fun party, I want as many different narcotics as I can to go in my system, you know?
Yeah.
I'm joking. I can't even enjoy a little bit of the legal marijuana without suddenly being like, things are uncertain. So like when I have like a little bit of marijuana, I'm like, my taxes. And then I go and I want to go do my taxes. Noura, what about you? Can you share? These guys are being very vague. So you know that they've been shooting white China heroin.
Mm-hmm.
As the paladin of the group, I will say that I will say this first and foremost: drugs are bad, kids.
Oh yeah, No, if you're like a kid and you're watching, like, don't do drugs. And you know, like many of the action movies of the 80s, the whole point of our campaign Wicked Empire is to eradicate the drug menace that is plaguing the Empire of Mu. So
yeah, but I will follow that up with saying I spent some time in Southeast Asia, and we could just leave it at that.
Okay, all right. So more of a sex tourist, and
no,
what? And finally, Sid. What's your attitude toward recreational narcotics?
I mean, do everything in moderation. I think it's so funny. I think like hard drugs is such a funny term still when, I don't know, like you said, weed is legal in some places and people really enjoy weed. I, for one, can't do it. I can't hang most of the time with weed. It just, for me, not a great drug. Other drugs, other hard drugs, great for me. Love them for a fun night out. But like the softer drugs, so to speak, sometimes I'm like, whoa, 2 drinks. I'm feeling crazy.
Yeah. No, people forget that alcohol is very dangerous at like the 2-drink level because you just start saying things maybe you shouldn't say or being open to other suggestions. That sounded way more sinister than I meant it to sound.
There's a progression though. It's like a woo, having a good time, get into a fight, start crying, pass out.
Totally. Yeah, I've had that Halloween dressed as a cat girl outside the Wrigleyville bar, just bawling.
Yeah, you can't be a happy drunk when you're dressed as a cat girl on Halloween. It's just, you're going to be the sad drunk. It's going to happen.
Yeah. So guys, I mean, like, I think it's like very funny that, you know, I based this a little bit on, 80s action movies or like, Steven Seagal movies. And it's like, it's always like the hero in those movies is trying to take out a drug lord. But I imagine that the people making the movie are just doing line after line of cocaine.
Oh yeah.
I mean, 80s action movies.
Yeah, there's just cocaine coming off of the celluloid of those movies.
Like worked into the budget, like everybody knows.
Yeah.
There's a special trailer very close by.
Yeah, a Steven Seagal movie, everyone has like pupils the size of nickels the whole time.
It's like a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory set where you break off like the styrofoam rock wall and it's just made of cocaine. It's like, come on, everybody, like, we're on break.
Hold on, this candy glass is made of methamphetamines.
Lick.
No, it's like how like movies are always kind of hypocritical. It's like there's like so many movies that are about like, you know, like Ernest Goes to Camp or whatever, where they're like trying to stop an evil corporation, or like all those like Disney kid movies are about like, let's stop these rich guys. But the movie is like made by like a bunch of rich guys to manipulate us. It's just
corporations, man. It's like you can't even trust Ernest.
Wait, but Jared,
he's always asking me if he knows what he means.
Monsanto?
Do you know what you mean, Ernest? Do you know what you mean?
Yeah. Well, so I guess I just say all that to frame your minds. Either you are the hero of a Steven Seagal movie in this, or you're the hero of an Ernest movie, and either is fine with me as we go through playing. So here's what I do in my Dungeons and Dragons games, and this is really I'll be honest. This is just really an opportunity for me to mock you as you try to do something. I'm going to give a point of inspiration to whoever can recap what has happened so far. A point of inspiration. Oh, great. Claire Grant, hit me. Tell me what's happened so far.
Okay, so Fish was hanging out in his monastery and then went away. And then when he came back, his whole monastery was killed, and his little copper dragon that he studies under was kidnapped, possibly. And
yes,
then,
and Fish is your character, a Tabaxi monk. Keep going.
Yes,
you're doing great.
And then Grinson is trying to take down the Marihikana drug cartel and
Marihikana, Marihikana drug cartel. Grinson is Ross's character, a half-elf sorcerer who works for Looking Glass, a government agency. Actually, I'm going to give myself a point of inspiration. Go ahead. Sorry, Claire.
And then that ties into Noura's character, Kina, and she is of the Ekaterian...
The Ekaterine Sisterhood.
The Ekaterine Sisterhood. And she has been asked by her mother, something or other, to go take down Maharina Kana, who goes by Mother Kana.
Yes, exactly. Yes, she's a renegade member of the Sisterhood who has gone off on an island and started a big drug empire, and she has brought shame on their order.
Yeah, and then Sydney's character Bick is was hanging out in a bar when Grinson found her, and he knows somehow that her like former partner betrayed her, and that she can find this former partner on this island at this drug cartel situation, and that she should join our little group. And then we got into a boat and we tried to con our way through the dock and the people.
Wait, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, Claire, but you forgot to mention that Sydney's character lost a fight against a single goblin in the bar.
No,
right, the
Claire
most important part.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then we got on a boat to go to Temple Bay, and this Bember Whetstone, who's like this little red-haired short thing.
You've added the red hair, but I like it. Go ahead.
Okay, I did. Damn it!
I did say red hair.
You did say that. I wouldn't have written
He's
it
a sea
down.
dwarf. There's only one of
dwarf.
them, and it's Bember Whetstone.
In my head, he just looks like an 80s troll. And,
okay, perfect.
He lives on the end of a pencil.
Yeah,
Yes.
We had an encounter with the Red Wave while we were trying to find those circlet tiara necklace things with jade in them.
So you know that here on the island of Temple Bay, one of the operations that that Mother Kana and her criminal organization run is a place called the Pleasure Dome. where guests can come and do drugs, have sex, and do other weird, forbidden stuff out on this island. And so the only way to get into the Pleasure Dome is to find jade circlets, which are kind of like your pass into the Pleasure Dome. And you guys found them the hardest way you could.
Violence.
Stealing.
Yeah.
A little bit of the old ultra violence.
But we won, and then we stole a bunch of flying brooms, and we flew to the forest, and then we got attacked.
Right. And I will set up that attack in a minute. Is anybody want to say anything about what's happened so far, or ask me a question before we get rolling, so that like we are not like 7 rounds into the combat and someone goes, wait, am I healed? Which happens at every Dungeons and Dragons game I know that you at home have ever played. Yes, Claire, you look like you had a question.
I actually had a point of inspiration, so I just want to give that inspiration to somebody who doesn't already have one, so we all start out the game with inspiration if possible.
That's called teamwork, Claire, and
well, that makes the dream work.
It does.
Okay.
Whose dream needs more? Whose dream needs to work? Who needs a point of inspiration? Okay.
I'll take it.
Yeah, give it to whoever is your favorite.
It goes to Bick, and I'm going to start a new. I'm going to start a new rule. Whenever you use a point of inspiration, to get your reroll or whatever, I need you to say something inspiring that your character would say.
Awesome.
I like this.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
And we've also decided that Noura, since her character Kina was using guidance a lot, she's going to give guidance when she uses that.
I'm here for you, buddy.
All right. Well, then let me describe what happened. So you guys decided to go hide out in the jungle after having a big fight with these the Red Wave, which are the hobgoblin mercenaries who kind of act as police on the Isle of Temple Bay. Oh, and so you decided to go out to the jungle and kind of hide out there on your new flying brooms that you all found. So you're able to move around the island very freely now with these brooms, and you thought, we'll hide out in the bush under cover of the forest and we'll be safe. And you were just kind of settling down to rest when suddenly you heard a rustling in the bushes. And we can go over to Roll20 right now, and I can show you the situation. You heard a rustling in the bush. You looked up over a bluff that was to your back, and a panther, a very large panther, was creeping up, peeking at you. Yes, over the edge of the bluff. But then out of that panther's back, 2 enormous tentacles raised up with like shiny, kind of spiky sort of thorns coming out of the end of the tentacle flippers. And the thing made a panther sound. Here I go. I'm going to try it. And you realized you were dealing with some sort of abnormal monstrosity that has undoubtedly been sort of mutated by these strange botanicals that grow here on Temple Bay, where they make the drug Black Rainbow. And so we are all now going to roll our initiative. And as usual, I'm rolling poorly. Actually, I think the panther surprised you, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a surprise round.
Wait.
No. Bick heard it.
I saw it. I remember.
You saw it? You saw it? Are you sure?
I rolled a perception check, and I either heard it or saw it, so I'm not snuck up on.
Okay, that's a very good point. Bick is not snuck up on. So actually, Bick and the Displacer Beast, the panther with tentacles coming out of its back can act this round, okay? So here we go. Bick, what was your initiative score?
A dirty 20.
A dirty 20 means Bick is at a dirty 20. And then this guy's all the way down here. But you guys are going to go on this surprise round. So the thing that the creature is going to do is it can climb really well. You know what I mean? And it's going to, let's see here. It's going to leap down in front of Kina and Bick, and it is going to start attacking. So here it goes. down like that, and it gets 2 attacks. But it actually, I'm sorry, Bick, you go first. So it hasn't left down yet. Yeah, you get. Yeah, since you weren't surprised, you can do something first. You can get in the way of. You can save Kina, you can save your friends, or you can take the fight to the creature. Go for it.
Yeah, I think Bick's quick reaction hears the noise, whips out her crossbolt, one-handed crossbolt, and turns around and just fires off immediately, knowing that there's danger. Gonna try to get a hit off. Great.
Go ahead and roll. With disadvantage. Disadvantage.
Okay. First one's an 18. Second one, 9, 10, 11, 14.
14, still a hit, Bick. Yeah.
Let's go. All right, so that's going to be 1d6. That's a 2 plus 3. That's a 5.
5 damage. Yes. Okay, great. Nicely done.
And then I'm going to run away.
Good idea. Go ahead and run. Run, Bick, run.
So it's up on like this cliffside. So I'm going to run along the cliffside, and I'm going to take my bonus action to hide, hopefully like under this cliffside, just like dash off and duck under and press myself up against the wall.
What a stalwart companion and ally Bick is, So Bick, while you were like trying to get a bead on this thing, it seemed to kind of like be hazy and wavy in your vision. So it was kind of hard for you to quite get a shot off, but finally you loose your bolt. It goes right into the thing's shoulder. So you do score a palpable hit, and then Bick is like, oh shit, and runs off into the shadow of the bluff. And is probably hidden. What? How did you do on your stealth roll?
Oh, I forgot I have to do that. Let's find out.
Let's do it just in case it becomes important.
Okay, that's gonna be 17 plus 7. I think that's pretty good.
Ooh, that's very good. Okay, so now as your sleazy DM, I'm sleazing this thing. It's getting a surprise round, and it is going to, in fact, leap down. And it's going to maintain 10 feet from Kina. Let's see, can it get... Yeah, it can get Fish and Kina. So it's kind of like hanging onto the side of the bluff, and you realize it's got like 6 legs, and that's how it's like kind of clinging to the side of the hill here. And its tentacles reach out. They have 10 feet of reach, and it first attacks Fish. Boom, to the tune of, we hit for once. Good job.
Can I use like one of my? I can't dodge. Isn't that one of my features?
Maybe. Let me see. Dodge
yes,
is actually a
patient defense. I can. Does that only works on my turn, right? Patient defense. You can spend 1 key point to take the dodge action as a bonus action on your turn. That doesn't count now, does it?
I'm afraid not, on your turn because you have been surprised. But next round, or when the round comes around to you, then you certainly may do that.
Okay.
But right now, I'm gonna have a big, sticky, toothed tentacle slap into your side and sting you. And this tentacle is going to do, let's see. Ooh, I'm so sorry, Fish. This was a really good roll for this creature. This is doing 10 damage to you.
No!
Oh, and then wait, I get to roll a d6 for its piercing damage as well. Only 1. 11 damage altogether, Fish. How are you doing health-wise?
I have 5 hit points left.
Okay, so this thing is clinging to the side of the bluff. One of its tentacles swings around and smashes into our tabaxi monk, and you can see as the tentacle leaves Fish's fur, it's like matted with blood, and like rivulets of blood go splattering out. So this thing means business and is nasty, and then it swings at Kina, and that time it only rolls a sad little 12 versus your AC, Kina.
Does not hit.
It does not hit. And so, now everybody give me your initiative score, or you can roll it now if you haven't already, and tell me what you did, how you did. Because the surprise round is over. A 16 for Kina.
18.
18 for Fish.
A gentleman's 6.
A gentleman's 6. What is your dexterity, Grinson?
My dexterity is 15.
15, and what's my monsters? Okay, wow, we have to roll a die, Grinson. I'm trying to figure out which of us goes first because...
Well, thank goodness I used it in this way, but I rolled a natural 20.
Okay, so Grinson, you're actually going to go before the beast, but you guys are acting really close together. And
Great.
So now, Bick, you get to do something again because you are at the top of the initiative order.
All right. I'm gonna climb up the hill. The cliff.
Yes, you should. Yes. So, give me. Let's see. It says it looks like to only be about 5 feet, but that you're going to use 10 feet to get up the side of a hill, unless you have some sort of fast climbing ability.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I'll use the 10 feet. I just want to sneak up behind. Basically, I want to sneak up behind the creature and take another shot off and use my sneak attack against it.
Beautiful. I'll allow it. Your sneak attack will still be at disadvantage unless does it give you advantage?
My sneak attack.
No, I don't believe it does.
No, I do extra damage if I succeed.
Okay, so the thing is still putting out some sort of hazy, strange aura as our elven rogue who hid now kind of clambers up the other side of the hillock here and ensconcing herself between 2 leafy ferns. She aims her crossbow once again and she attacks.
Let's see. Oh, that's not going to be good. That's going to be a 5 to hit. I'm sure that one's going to be the one with disadvantage. Yeah, the next one was much higher. All right.
No hits. You are... Wait, let me make sure I did this correctly because I think once it gets hit the first time, it loses its displacement.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
let me make sure. Wait.
That would be cool because then maybe I'd hit it.
If it is hit by an attack, this trait is disrupted until the end of its next turn. But it took a turn. You hit it, and then it took a turn. So no, it's displaced.
It's back on. All right. So I whiff. I climb up, and I'm like, "Come here, you big cat!" And then I shoot, and it just right by it. And I'm like, "Fuck."
I like that. You're channeling that guy from Jurassic Park. You're like, "Come here, beautiful, lovey. Look at that, beautiful."
But I'm cooler than him, right?
Yeah, way cooler. Way cooler. All right, now let us go to the next person in our initiative count. Fish. Fish in the water. Our Tabaxi monk who just got blasted for 11 damage by the thing's tentacle. What are you going to do?
Fish is gonna do a few things. He's going to pull out his quarterstaff and he's going to run up to this panther, and he's first going to attack the panther with the quarterstaff.
Okay, very good.
Um, 23.
Normally that would hit, but you have disadvantage against the creature. It is putting out some sort of strange visual acuity.
17
or
20, not 20. Modified 20.
Modified 20 is your second roll.
Yes.
You bastard, Fish!
Yes.
You've done it. Do your damage.
Cat v cat.
All right, with the quarterstaff, here I go. It is 6 points of a damage with the quarterstaff. Mm-hmm. And then I am going to use Flurry of Blows.
Yep.
And where is it? Okay. And then I get to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action. So then Fish is going to take his claws and he's going to try to slash at him.
Great. And just remember to spend the 1 key point to do the Flurry of Blows in addition to your main attack. And let me know how those attacks go. He is no longer displaced this creature, so you do not have disadvantage on these attacks.
Nice.
Okay. Well,
I would like to imagine, Ross, like you said, cat v cat, like both their hair is like standing up on their backs.
Like bristling, yeah.
Yeah.
Hissing and spitting.
Well, the first one didn't do too well. I rolled 13.
That's a hit.
Ooh, yay!
Nice.
Okay.
Yes.
And 8 damage.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
And then Fish is gonna swipe again with the claws. With a 22.
Yep. That's a hit.
And for 6 points.
Wow. So
And
Fish.
I know. Wait, I'm not done though. But because I used flurry of
You're done, Claire. You're done. No more damage to my monster.
Your badge and your gun, now!
no. Now that I've used flurry of blows, I can spend. No, I have the drunken technique, which means I can disengage and run away into hiding.
That sounds like a good idea. So you get a free disengage. Is this true, or you do it on your bonus action?
No, I think it's just a free disengage. It's a whenever you use flurry of blows, you gain the benefit of disengage, and your walking speed increases by 10 feet until the end of the current turn.
Holy mother of God! What a cool subclass. Please, remove yourself from the presence of this monster. Oh wow, yeah, all the way over there. Okay, I'm coming for you, cat.
And I imagine this is like super drunken style where you like kind of stumble backwards and then catch yourself with incredible dexterity.
Yeah, I love this. The beast smashed into Fish with a tentacle, and then Fish went like extremely full cat for a minute. It was like an alley fight, yeah. And then Fish suddenly like stumbled away, like hiccuping around, and you've kind of taken yourself around the corner of the bluff or the hill here, so that you're kind of also out of its line of sight even currently. And so that is Fish's excellent turn. Fish did a ton of damage, but now it's Keena's turn.
So you see Keena's wings just unfurl like a fan, thwap, like her bat wings unfurl, and she just kind of rises above the ground slowly, just enough to where she could see this beast. Mm-hmm. And from her back, she unsheaths her sword, points to the displacer beast, and casts a hunter's mark on it.
Ooh, let's do it. Let's do something with it.
Before swooping down and just stabbing at one of those tentacles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, you can go ahead and give me an attack, and because the displacer beast hasn't taken a turn yet, that means that you can now hit it without disadvantage.
Sweet. Yeah. So that is a 23 to hit.
Mm-hmm. That's a hit.
And that is 10 points of piercing damage with my longsword.
Nice.
And with the hunter's mark, an extra 4 points.
Great. Let's go ahead and put some kind of hunter's mark on that displacer beast. But yes, so that's a huge. So yeah, Keena rises into the air, unfurling her bat wings like the fallen angel she is. Points at the thing, challenges it, and then, like a fucking B-52 bomber, smashes down on it with her sword and pierces its side. Yes, now it has its hunter's mark. We'll remember that that's there. Okay, great. So let us now move to Grinson. You get a turn before the displacer beast.
Excellent. I think maybe the reason that this initiative was so low, I think as they were getting down to camp for the night, Grinson, like out of his pack, takes out like a little ceramic teapot with some, like after getting some water from nearby stream, and is like prestidigitating it warms, like, just going to have a nice cup of tea to close out the evening. And then this thing pops out and it's like, ugh, and like there's hot water all over his jacket. He's like, bother. And I think Grinson, as all the badass stuff that everyone else has done is going on. He's kind of like brushing his jacket off and moving backwards into the undergrowth behind him, and then drawing his light, like kind of bolt action crossbow and leveling a shot at this thing.
Great. Cool, yeah. He's got cover. He's cool. He's calm. He's covered in tea. Go for it.
Yeah, a wonderful Lapsang Souchong. What a waste. And then, he just kind of like takes aim with his crossbow and fires a 19, which...
That's a hit, because it currently does not have its displacement field up. And how much damage dost thou do?
I doth give this beast 8 right honorable points of piercing damage.
Right honorable, sir. I have added it to its hit point loss. And so now there's like a couple of crossbow bolts like kind of hanging out of this thing. But let's see, until the end of its next turn, so it's going to get its displacement field back, and it goes dead last because I suck at rolling initiative. Now, what I'd love for it to do is to turn around and start picking on Bick, because Bick's all alone up there, and as a GM, I'm like, I want to just beat Bick around for sneaking up on me and getting the first hit against my creature. But this creature has an intelligence of only 6, and it is a wild beast, and I don't think that I can seriously justify it turning around at the person that just missed it.
So, Jared, are you saying that this cat is some sort of big dumb chungus?
It's a big, I would say I don't know about a chungus. I don't know what that word means.
You've never played The Last of Us. There's like the Chungus fungus, which is like a big, lumbering, horrifying fungus boss that you fight, and he's a chungus for sure. But I don't think this beast is a chungus.
He's a demi-chungus.
A demi-chungus.
I thought chungus was like a word like you call someone like, you're a total chode. Like I thought it was like a 90s.
Stop being a chungus.
Maybe this is just when I had a fat
insult.
Cat.
Like, these chunguses want to take over our skate park.
Ross, did you get called a chungus?
No. When I was ripping caffeine and being a total badass back in high school? No way.
Well, at any rate, I think that it rightly, and I think the Hunter's Mark seals this too, it rightly considers its number one threat, the one that's really kind of in its sight right now, to be Kina.
That's fair.
And so, because, Kina's like just the most visually right there in its sights, and has just like made the most, grandiose, as a paladin is supposed to do, grandiose attack against it. And so the thing is going to whip at you with both tentacles, Kina. Ooh. And here it goes. Let's hope for your sake, Noura, I have some of that Jared Logan Dungeon Master luck. And let's see, the first tentacle is, I swear to God, you guys, I can't fucking believe this, a natural 1. Look.
I think this guy just got promoted to full chungus.
Yeah, I think so. We're in chungus land now. And I think that what I'll do is I'll say, I think it's just a critical miss, you guys. Come on, don't make me miss. He still needs to try with his second tentacle. And here we go.
Maybe had a laser pointer. You don't know.
It distracted the cat for a second.
Yes, I prestidigitated a laser beam.
Okay, that time he rolled a pathetic 3. And so both tentacles miss Kina. I'm gonna sit here and stew in my own disappointment.
We know when Batman just kind of like dodges, but just moves his head left and right, just ever so slightly, unbothered by the tentacles.
I love that. Yeah,
and just stays right where she is.
Kina has straight up Batman vibes. So that's the thing's move and attack, and I'm embarrassed. And now it is Bick's turn.
Bick again is going to try to fire off with the crossbow. Also a little bit embarrassed that she did her roll sneak attack and missed, so maybe she can hit this time.
Bick, I think you're a little bit out of visual range because of how far back you are. I mean, you could move up to the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do that. That's no big deal. Yeah, I move up. You're right. She would do that too. She wants a better look. She wants the vantage point. She moves up to the edge of the cliff and now pointing down at the big cat.
And the thing is now has its displacement field back up, just so as you know.
With disadvantage. First was a nat 20.
But what's the second one?
Second one's a 14 plus 5. So that will hit, right?
Yes. You have hit me, rogue. Or, I'm sorry, in Displacer Beast, that would be...
5, 6, 7, 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage.
Shoot with my crossbow.
This thing is just bristling with bolts now. Its strange blood is kind of leaking out of it, and it's making it a little easier to see which one is the actual displacer beast. It's just making it just a little easier to see. Suddenly, that sort of hazy kind of doubling effect is gone. And nice work, Bick, who just kind of ran to the edge of the bluff here, aimed her crossbow, and fired. Anything else, Bick, before I move on to the next person?
I'm going to use... you know what? I'm at a good vantage point. I'm going to stay where I am.
Okay, cool. So Bick is sort of crouched there with her crossbow at the edge of the hill, and then it is Fish in the water's turn.
Okay, Fish is going to, with his tail, just pull his little flask out and have a little bit of his local island rum just to make sure that he's like doing everything right. And then he's going to fold it back in with his tail. And then he's going to hiss real loud and put all of his fur up and run, and then leap onto this panther with his quarterstaff.
Great. Go ahead and move Fish. I think, is it in front of Kina, like right there up at melee range? Okay. Oh yeah, you're in the bush there. Okay, no problem. That works.
Nope.
That's good. Okay, great.
Okay. Is it a disadvantage?
It is not, because Bick just turned off the displacement field for you.
Yes, Bick.
Go for it. Get it.
Whack it.
Golden. 8 plus 6, so 14.
Hit.
Nice.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be great in action movies if, like, when they're in a group fighting, that everyone's like, get it?
Do it. Good job. Good, quick thinking. Yeah.
I did.
Mel Gibson literally never does that to Danny Glover. Like, wow, good job. Quick thinking.
They never say good job.
Yeah. I did
maybe some mutual support,
8
guys.
damage, and Fish would also like to enact Flurry of Blows one more time with a key point. And then Fish is going to use his claw to slash the panther across the face, hopefully.
Oh.
Kill this thing.
17.
17 is a hit.
For 5 damage.
You slash it across the face like you hopefully were hoping to do.
And then I have one more. I'm gonna slash the other side of the face, and I got 24.
That's a hit.
Damn.
Ooh. And then that's 6 damage.
6 damage.
And then, of course, I'm going to use my disengage now and run away again.
Well, it's funny that you're doing that, because you guys watch as Fish runs under where Kina is flying, and it's just this like whirling dervish of claws, and then kind of like starts to stumble away again as the creature kind of falls like onto its belly, and it's having a little trouble keeping its tentacles up now. Its tentacles are kind of like trembling a little bit. This thing is what I call on its last legs, meaning it has 5 or fewer HP left. So you can decide what you'd like to do with it. It doesn't seem like it's going to be necessarily a danger anymore. And we can even leave combat initiative turns if we want. But Kina, it is your turn next if you want to be the one to finish it off.
Well,
and Fish, go ahead and stumble away if you wish. I think it's funny that Fish is like, and rips its face apart and then,
yeah, it does that, and actually does like a backwards rolling something or other, and just sort of like falls seated in the dirt behind Kina, or like just below her.
Great. Okay. Perfect.
Perfect.
There.
well, seeing the state of this beast right now, and then I know that in action movies they don't take the time to congratulate or say good job, but I'll tell you what Kina does that you do see. She looks over at Fish and makes meaningful eye contact right before she slowly descends upon this beast, and with a final just hack to the neck.
Ooh, I love it. I'll tell you what. It's not displaced right now, so give me a attack roll, and if you succeed, you can decapitate it.
So I rolled a 17 to hit.
That's a hit, and so it actually had 1 hit point left. You lop off its head, and it goes, and then its eyes go milky. And you realize that suddenly everything around it comes into startling clarity, because it really did have a kind of an illusory field going the whole time. And now there's a huge headless carcass of a creature laying in front of you. Its limp tentacles oozing blood on the floor of the jungle, right in the center of where you had all made camp.
I'd like to grab it by the scruff on top of the head and just raise that head up high, bring my sword into the air, and be like, "For the glory of Ikatra!"
Oh, interesting. Yeah, and Ikatra, that's the white tiger bride. So she's also got kind of a cat thing going on. And so, perhaps you have slain one of the pretenders, one of the lesser bloodlines of the cat deities of Mu. But yes, you do that, and you gain a point of inspiration if you don't already have one, Noura, because that's badass and scary. And so suddenly the jungle is quiet again. There's nothing but the buzzing of jungle cicadas and the occasional somewhere far out in the jungle.
Excellent.
I think Vic slides kind of like down the side of the cliff to the body and the group. And she's like, oh, all right, well, should we set up camp properly? Or
Did you see how I did that? It's pretty cool.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Thanks.
Yes, very impressive. Very impressive indeed.
I know we don't often say this, but good job. It's a good job.
Well, team effort.
Good.
Team effort is awesome.
Okay.
Yes, we all played our part. So Prince just kind of melts out of the brush.
You got
Vincent,
something on your...
I didn't see you really do anything actually.
And he kind of looks at you extremely deadpan as he kind of plucks one of the bolt he put in the thing like out of its backside, and it's like, very few see what I do. And reloads it into his and like puts it back in his coat. And excellent work, as you say. A team effort all round. It seems discretion is the better part of valor now. Shall we turn in for the night? And I prestidigitate the tea off my coat, like.
Lovely. So I'm gonna just we'll kind of go into an exploration kind of a mode, and I will just kind of if everybody's going to sleep and post a guard, I think that's super important. If you have real strong ideas about who should be on guard first, let me know. But I'm also gonna if anybody has any kind of action they want to do other than sleep, I'm gonna go around to each person now. So since we were just talking to Grinson, is there anything you do before you turn in?
I think I maybe go into my memory palace to think about the correspondence and the communiques that I've received from Skunt, my contact on Temple Bay, who disappeared, and one of the main reasons that I am here. And Skunt was working before he disappeared in the drug lab of Temple Bay, and I would just like to maybe cast my mind back and think about what sort of information he was smuggling out before he went dark, so to speak.
Very good. Even to remember something, could you give me some sort of skill roll? And it should be something kind of applicable to
Certainly.
maybe the experience you just had.
Yes, I think perhaps a investigation
That sounds good.
is in order.
And to remember something that your agent told you, I think there's Skunt. Skunt, your asset, your spy that went dark, and you've come to find. Last you heard, he was applying to work in the drug lab. He was going to become one of the technicians working in the drug lab here on Temple Bay. And how did your investigation roll go?
14.
Okay, so that's enough for you to remember that Skunt found out that there's a lot of weird botanicals on the island that they're mixing with something else, and that the wildlife on the island has been, altered by mixing those botanicals into their diet. And that's why this creature, isn't quite in the same dimension all the time. Just like when people were taking the black rainbow and there was kind of hazy double image of them. Yeah. So these beasts have evolved to kind of eat whatever crop, or maybe their prey has the crop in its belly, and it creates a displacement field around them. That's
right.
what you remember. I'm going to keep moving. Who's taking first watch? Does it matter? Can I just
I'll take first watch. I'm pumped after that kill. I got all this adrenaline going.
Great. Do you do anything
take
else,
first watch.
Tina? Anything else you want to do while you're on watch?
I've got one more. I got one last divine sense during this rest, this period. So I'll might as well use it to see if I could detect good and evil around us, just to make sure there's no other critters.
No, that makes sense. So it's gonna divine sense gives you you can sense. Let's see. What does it say that you can sense? Evil.
You know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet.
Any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet. Sometimes I let that mean just evil people. But I will tell you that you cast out your sense within 60 feet, and you don't sense any evil within 60 feet. So you seem to be safe in terms of celestials, fiends, or undeads.
All right.
And so you're taking first watch. What about Fish? What does he do before he turns in? He's hurting, right? How many HP does Fish have left?
Fish has 5 hit points left, and Fish is going to make sure that his flasks are full for the morning. And Fish also, he's a very meticulous tabaxi about making sure his fur stays cleaned. And there's probably a lot of gross panther blood and weird smells on him that he doesn't like. So he's just gonna lick himself to bed.
Great. So give me a perception roll for Fish. DC for this is 15.
Ooh, 18.
Nicely done. So Fish, you're kind of licking yourself clean, and so you're really kind of becoming really familiar with the smell of Displacer Beast blood, because a lot of it is on you. And then you notice another blood scent nearby, and it doesn't belong to your companions. And you kind of can feel little traces of that blood kind of leading off into the jungle.
Do I tell my friends? I tell my friends. Yes.
Okay, very good.
Definitely tell my friends about some weird blood smell from that panther. Maybe he killed something else.
That seems like a logical conclusion.
Okay.
You want to track it later?
Yeah. Sounds like a great idea.
Let's do it.
Okay, so you're going to track it after you rest? Is that what you're telling me?
Definitely needs rest.
Okay, great. And so I'll just ask Bick. Bick, anything you want to do before you turn in?
Yeah, I think Bick offers to take second watch. And in the meantime, I don't even know if Bick actually rests. I don't need to. I didn't lose any hit points. But Bick is going to take a walk around the perimeter, maybe after hearing this from Fish. Just like, take a walk around the perimeter, make sure everything's good, but at the same time, read her notebook to try to remember anything about Striga Blackfoot, who is her friend, now enemy, She can't remember, and ever since Grinson mentioned it, it's been eating away at her, and she keeps flipping open the notebook but hasn't had a moment to think about it properly.
Very good. So why don't you give me a roll for her to remember things, and then would you also give me a perception roll as you're kind of walking around the perimeter out in the jungle?
Just a straight up and down roll for remembering, or?
Yeah, I think, if you want, you can just roll your intelligence. That's a good idea.
Ooh, okay. I rolled pretty good. Let me see. What's my intelligence? Oh, okay. 18.
18 is good. So Striga Blackfoot is a satyr, and she's a bard. And she always wanted to make a big score, you guys as crooks. This is all kind of coming flooding back to you so that she could open her own club, because she fancies herself a musician. And you had a very close friend named who's a changeling, who wasn't really part of your criminal crew, just kind of, a good time friend that you had fun with, who was maybe dear to you in a romantic way. Maybe you're not sure. It's completely up to you, the player. But and Striga disappeared after Striga stole all of your cut of the last score you were on. And now this guy, Grinson's, telling you that Striga is here somewhere in the Pleasure Dome. And you feel anger. I will say that. You feel anger well up. And how did you do on your perception roll?
Let's find out. Nat 20.
Damn!
Hey.
So with a nat 20, I can tell you that even here in the moonlight, through the canopy of the jungle, you see a little blood trail that's leading deeper into the bush, which you can follow now with your nat 20 if you'd like.
Can I follow it stealthily if I'm going on my own?
That's a great idea. Go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
And I'm not going too far. Wow, I love this die. 19 plus 7.
Damn. Okay, so without making a sound, without breaking a twig, Bick creeps through the shadows back into the brush, and finally you come to what I would describe as a burrow, or a kind of like a small earthen cave, and it looks like this is maybe the den of our displacer beast. It is, I said small, but it's large enough to hold the displacer beast, which is the size of a horse. Now with your nat 20, I'm just going to give you this too. You can hear from inside of the den, you can hear
Does it sound human? Or
it sounds humanoid. Mm-hmm.
I look in.
Okay, you go inside and it's very dark, and just with the little sliver of moonlight that's getting through, you can see what looks like a half elf, and he's in like safari clothes, and his front of his clothing is soaked in blood. And you see lots of like those like holes that the piercing tentacles of the displacer beast would make. Like one's on his face, like there's like holes on his face and on his neck, and he's sitting there on death's door.
I say, hey, what's your name? Hey, look at me.
What?
Your name. Can you hear me?
Hello. The angels have come. Oh, great angel. Oh, take me to the celestial plane.
I will.
I knew I'd see angels if I came here.
I just
All right,
need your
man.
name. I need your name to write it down in the angel book.
Milius. Dr. Milius.
I write down Dr. Milius in my notebook. And I go, and Dr. Milius, yeah, and it's in my angel book. You're almost through the gates, and you do what?
Well, right now I'm dying.
Your job, your profession.
And like a little bit of foam starts to come out of his mouth, and then he kind of like gets really quiet.
I search his body.
Oh, damn. Okay. Searching his body, you do find a journal. You find like a journal.
I take it back. I'm going to take everything I find, and I'm getting the hell out of this den, and I'm going back to the camp so I can read it under like some camp light.
Great. Bick, you leave the man to die in the jungle.
Wait. I take his hat.
Oh, very good.
I try
okay.
it. I try it on. I want to see if it looks good, and if it doesn't, I'm tossing it.
Okay, so when the next person gets up for their watch, which if it doesn't really matter, so let's call it Grinson. You see that Bick is just wearing a pith helmet, which, by the way, Bick, you may add to your inventory. A pith helmet. I don't even know if you can put that into D&D Beyond, but put it somewhere. And you see that she is reading a journal, and if you'd like to read the journal, Bick, then you may do so. Go ahead and give me a. Let's see. I think for this
to know if I know how to read.
No, of course you know how to read. And I'm going to give you some information for free, even if you fail. But discerning what the journal means requires a roll of, I think, insight.
All right.
Am I still awake while she does that?
You can be awake now. I'm never going to ever
Because
be like, you're asleep. Go back to sleep.
The changing of the guard, I guess. I see her attempting. I'll put my hand on Bick's shoulder and just be like, "Hey, you're smart enough. You're good at this. I believe in you. You can read this." And I'll cast guidance.
That's so nice. And wait, with guidance, I get advantage, or I get plus?
You get plus. You get to roll an extra D4.
A D4.
All right, let's see.
I like Keena's beside you going, sound it out. Like you're just helping Bick with the phonics. I mean, we know that Bick has taken a lot of head trauma, which is why Bick can't remember things. So Keena definitely needs to kind of help her with this. And
it's dim light. It's dim light.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm just like,
Grinson is like leaning against leaning against a tree, like it's nice to be back in the field again. And like adjusts his glasses and looks up and sees this little tableau of tutoring going on in the clearing. Like,
yeah, and I wanted it to be, just so the viewers are clear, I did want it to be, or the listeners, I just wanted it to be, so that she could figure out the deeper meaning. But no, we've changed it. Now she's just having trouble with phonics.
and every so often, Bick like turns the page and kind of like points to a word and looks up just to make sure, like, is that right? And I rolled
yeah. Damnation.
Damnation. Oh, you do pronounce the end.
So no, it's one word. It's not damnation. It's damnation.
Damnation. This is an excellent book.
sure.
Us 18 total with the guidance.
Hey, that's great. So you find a lot of really interesting little things. I mean, the whole journal seems like the whacked out ramblings of a lunatic. This guy was maybe on Black Rainbow. He was out here in the jungle using Black Rainbow. I would describe it as a for our literary audience, like Hunter Thompson, or like just a rambling, insane monologue. But some things catch your eye. For example, Mother Kana is mentioned a lot. And he keeps writing, Mother Kana is through the looking glass, man. He also, at one point, there's a very interesting passage in the midst of all the craziness that catches your eye, Bick. It says, once you're inside the green circle, you got to get inside the black circle. And he's even kind of colored that out with like circles.
Okay. I'm going to share this with the group because already they see me with this book, and I think I'll just say the poor bloke just died and I grabbed it, and I don't really know what it means, but I'm assuming he's on heavy drugs, and maybe this will be answered once we get to the drug laboratory or in the pleasure dome. I'm not truly certain, but it's green circle, black circle. I don't know if this means anything to you. Let me know. And I look at Grinson and Fish. Once Fish is up too, I tell him as well.
Does I assume that Fish, being a drunken monk, is probably might even already be familiar with the black rainbow. Do you think maybe Fish might have an idea what this could be, the black circle and the green circle, like if it's related to the drug?
I think that's an interesting question. So what kind of skill would Fish like to roll? I do think a skill roll will be necessary here.
Yeah.
What do you think would work? Investigation, religion.
Investigation or insight or investigation, maybe?
Yeah, investigation will work. I'm going to make this a DC 18, but if you get this, you're going to get a really, really important clue. I'll just also mention that Dr. Milius's journal here can be... Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so you haven't...
Yeah, no. Okay.
Yeah, you haven't figured it out yet, but Dr. Milius's journal, you guys can go back to this whenever you want, whenever you're kind of stumped, and see if you can find like a weird drug-addled rambling that applies to the situation you're in, because it looks like he's explored the entire island.
Cool.
It seems we have some sort of travel log. And as for green circles, it appears to me that we have several in our possession at the moment. As for the dark circle, that remains shrouded in mystery to me.
Oh, the circlets.
Right.
Ah.
Wait, so it said, just to recap,
Interesting.
once you're in the green circle, then you got to get into the black circle.
That's what it said.
Okay. It makes me think the black circle's within the pleasure dome.
Indeed.
B. We are short one circlet still.
We are.
That's so true.
This is true.
It's a shame that the wayfarer that you encountered in the bush didn't have one in his possession.
Is there any way we could forge one? Does anybody have that skill?
Short of magic, it might be tough to find some jade and work it into, an ornate little kind of actual little band you put around your head. But if people have the skills and the tools for it in their inventory, I would allow them to try it.
I mean, I have the forgery kit, but I don't know if that's necessarily good enough to make a metal
It's fair.
jewelry object.
Yeah.
Oh, but the dude Dr. Milius didn't have one on him. I checked him, right?
You checked him and he didn't have one on him. It looked like he'd been living in the jungle for a while. He had a big bushy beard. So possibly he hasn't visited the Pleasure Dome in a while. You still need a jade circlet to get into the Pleasure Dome. You guys were talking about going to the drug lab. How about this? Does everybody rest? Long rest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please refill your HP, and nothing else happens tonight. Soon the gray light of dawn pierces the canopy of the jungle, and the wildlife gets more active. Suddenly the jungle comes alive, and you awaken feeling somewhat restored, or at least drunk enough that it doesn't matter, Fish.
Sure.
And,
I think when you see just Grinson like leaning again against this tree, this kind of dark glasses slipping down his nose. He's just like a sleepy old man. But if you look closer, you see that he sleeps with his eyes open, and like it's like you're looking just into white with like clouds of darkness kind of going around in them like a lava lamp.
Wow.
I love it.
That's terrifying. Yeah, I like that so much. Take a point of inspiration, Ross, if you don't already have one. And then let me know where you would like to go next.
Now, based upon the knowledge of my man on the inside, the origin of the Black Rainbow seems to stem from some sort of botanical here upon the island, but there is some unnatural source that they're uniting with it. It may provide some clues to what lies beyond this dark circle intimated by our unfortunate friend. If perhaps we could gain ingress to their laboratory, we might learn something more about their production and about the foundation of all their business on the Isle.
All right. Do you suppose? I suppose a building like that would be guarded, or we can at least go in there, assuming even if it isn't, just to be on the safe side.
Are those red wave armors and stuff? Do those have helmets as well? Like,
no, they wore like masks. These guys didn't really wear helmets. But you fucked up a bunch of the Hobgoblin police, the Red Wave mercenaries. I don't know if nobody mentioned to me that they had grabbed their armor or their mask or anything like that. If you wanted to go back into town and tussle with them again, we could probably make that happen.
I guess we should just, regardless, I do agree with you, Grinson, and it couldn't hurt to scope it out at least. If it's completely guarded, we'll go in a different direction possible.
I think it's definitely worth checking out.
yeah.
All right,
Indeed.
so I'm going to show our island map, right? And so our island map shows all the parts of Temple Bay. And if you're looking at Roll20, you can see very clearly where the drug lab is. So the Pleasure Dome is the red building there with a dome on it, several domes. And then if you go over, there is a kind of a drug lab with all kinds of pipes and vats and things like that. And if you guys would like to go into that area, you can fly out of the jungle. You said you were here in the jungle on the eastern side of the island. You could fly right over there on your flying brooms and land and try to enter inside. Is that what you'd like to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. And so everybody's healed. Everybody has their powers and abilities, spells back. And you guys jump onto your brooms. And do you remember the activation word?
Aloft.
Aloft. And once you say aloft, they like power up beneath you. And then you're all like hurtling through the woods like you're on speeder bikes in the Return of the Jedi. Like, and soon you come out to the perimeter of this drug laboratory, and you are standing before the door. And I can tell you that there's the outside seems deserted right now. No one's kind of working out of doors. And the doors, there's kind of like an automated door that like there's a mechanism that opens it in the side of this like metal building. And that door is open. That door is completely open. And you can hear the faint sounds of like, work taking place inside. So you may enter if you wish. Let me know when you are entering or if you're taking any precautions first.
I don't think this is a trap, but I think we should just be careful. It seems like an active work site, right? Like it just...
Yes, I should think the presence of outsiders and strangers would be looked upon with no small amount of suspicion.
Maybe we get some uniforms.
Yes, exactly. I think that's a great idea.
Perhaps we post outside, wait for someone to walk by, give them the old, and then drag them behind. We do change.
Okay, I hear that. Okay, so let's see. Who is doing the uniform grab? Who among you is pulling this little operation?
I'll try it. It was my idea. I'll go for it. I'll just stand behind a corner of a building and wait for somebody to walk by.
Great. Yeah, great. So you're standing out there for a while, and then finally, after much time has passed, you make a stealth roll. Actually, you need to make a stealth roll.
Okay. 19.
Okay, 19, and that's a great stealth check. And yeah, this reptilian creature, actually you might know it to be a dragonborn in a heavy, it looks like a cross between a hazmat suit and a wizard's robe, comes out and it takes off the cover of it, the hood of it, and then reaches into his robe and pulls out a little bit of a paper cigarette and breathes on it and lights it, and then starts just outside of the laboratory. He's standing there.
I'm gonna stealth up behind and chokehold as I drag backward down to the ground, hoping to just put him to sleep, or them, or they, her.
Okay, great. Let's see. That's gonna be difficult, but I'm gonna allow you to try. Give me an attack roll.
Okay, wait. If it's too difficult, I'm just gonna take my dagger and I'm gonna cut their throat. I'm gonna kill them. Is that easier?
Well, in 5e, you can decide not to kill somebody even if you defeat them with you're fighting someone with a dagger, which, in our imaginations is I'm stabbing him over and over. But in 5e, it says once someone's down to 0 hit points, you can say, I leave them alive. You're always allowed to do that. We're not even going to do a full combat here. This is more of a, Metal Gear Solid. Bick is kind of scouting ahead as the rogue is wont to do. I just want the attack roll to see if you get the knife up to his neck, and then you can decide what happens after that. So can you give me the attack roll?
Yes. 14.
14, not enough.
No.
And so you sneak up behind him, and just as you're about to put the knife up to this thing's neck, it turns and goes, ah! And it's intruders, and it's going to elbow you and disengage, and then also run into the drug lab. And so you guys either need to act, or there's going to be an alarm that's going to go off in a minute.
I think
Someone shoot him! Shoot him! Someone shoot him!
You think we should shoot him?
How far away is he?
Let's say that he's about 100 feet.
Yeah. I assume we're
from
watching
you guys,
watching from a
Bick,
distance.
He's a little bit closer.
Can I try to hit him with a crossbow?
Yeah, if you tell you what, I don't want to go into full combat here. Does everybody agree we're gonna see if Keena can hit him with a crossbow bolt, and if that works, then you've stopped him?
Could I do something all at the same moment?
Yes. Okay, that works.
If we're we've got our little scope kind of watching this, can I attempt to do a ranged attack as well?
Yeah, as long as you have 100 feet of range, you can go for it.
I have 120 feet of range.
Well, that'll do it, won't it?
For this particular action.
So what is your attack going to be, Grinson?
I am going to cast Chill Touch.
Ooh, and does Chill Touch work at a distance like that?
It does indeed. It has a confusing name because it's...
Yeah, neither chill nor touch.
It's not a touch.
Yeah, it's weirdly a ranged spell attack where I don't touch anything.
And if it hits, does it restrain him, freeze him or something?
No, it just does necrotic damage to him.
Okay, very good. And you're going to fire your crossbow bolt at him, right, Kina?
Yeah, that was an 18 to hit.
Ooh, Kina, I'm going to make a deal with you. If you roll a disadvantage, I'm going to say that if you roll it again and you still hit him, I'm going to say that you've like completely crippled him, like your crossbow bolt went into like the back of his knee and he can't get inside the complex. But otherwise, we're just going to do damage to him and see, if he can make it.
Well, my second roll was a dirty 20, so stick with that 18.
So Kina takes aim, fires, her crossbow bolt goes into the back of his knee. He falls to his knees going, and then that's when Grinson unleashes. You guys see this like cold air just out across.
I tell you what it is. There's not even a blast. It's like what happens is like, you've seen me cast Mage Hand before, like grabbing things and pulling. It's like that Mage Hand appears again, like right in front of this guy's face. But instead of like kind of being a simulacrum of my hand, it's like noticeably decaying, like in midair. It's almost as if it's like when you see like time lapse footage of a like withering thing. It's like withering as it just kind of like grabs his face and does him 6 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, you've grabbed his dragon snout, and what you see is like all the veins suddenly kind of go black in his face, and you see his face, even though it's kind of reptilian and draconic, you see it kind of age for a moment, kind of become withered, and then it returns to its like normal self, but he has taken sort of this internal organ damage, cellular damage from the decaying hand. And so I'm going to rule that this guy, who is like a worker bee, he has been crippled. He can't get inside, and you've done a bit of damage to him. Let's see. Yeah, so people can now kind of get the jump on him or interact with him if they want to. He's not going to get inside. He can't run because Noura killed that roll.
Let's gag and bind him.
Yeah, silently I'm motioning for us to like move forward, move.
Right.
When I get there, though, I will rip my crossbow bolt out of the back of his knee and take it back, just in case somebody finds his body.
Nice.
Okay. He looks up at you and he's like, "You junkies want a taste, huh?"
And then we gag him.
And he's like making it like the gag is kind of like charring because he's like really like got like fire breath and stuff like that. But you've got him gagged, and what would you like to do with him?
I do want to, before we do it, I've got my crossbow to his temple and taking the gag off slowly. I'm like, how many are inside?
There's 3 guards and then 5 other technicians.
I'll put the gag back on, shove him back.
Okay.
What do we do with this one?
I'll take care of that. And I lug him fireman style over my shoulder around the side of the building. And I take all his hazmat suit stuff, and then I just beat him with the blunt part of my knife in the head.
Give me an investigation roll, Bick.
No, am I gonna fuck this one up too?
No, just give you an investigation roll.
I'm so cool until I actually get into physical combat, and then it's like all downhill.
But then you get the all of a sudden the cheerful, happy music, hand on your shoulder. You got this.
Yeah, you can beat this guy to a pulp. Really make him pay for not thinking you're a badass.
I do got this. Thank you.
Hurt him.
18 total.
18, very good. So as you're beating the snot out of this guy for doing his job. Now, I mean, come on, he's a drug dealer. He deserves
Working
it.
dragon can't catch a break.
He's a drug peddler.
I blame the system, really.
Yeah. You find that around his neck, he has a obsidian circlet.
Like ring.
I snatch it and I put it on my neck.
Yes, very good. So you now have
tuck it in.
You now have it around your neck, and you now have his robes and his sort of like mask, over your head if you'd like, and so you may enter completely disguised.
And I think
Beck.
maybe just before you enter, Grinson sort of takes you in and kneels down and prestidigitates the little tear that Keena's crossbow bolt made in the hazmat and just wipes it out of existence, so it's mended. It's like, you don't know what sort of botanical vapors you're going to encounter in there. Keep your head about you.
Wait, am I going in alone? You're not coming with me.
I thought you were going in to get more suits.
Yeah.
I'm going in to get more suits for you three.
Well, maybe they're just like hanging up in a locker room, Like maybe there's a locker room.
Fish, I'm sure there's a locker room open. You know what? Yeah, no, I'll go in. Why not?
I'll go with you. I'll go with you.
No, you sit.
At least just pop in, do a walkthrough, see who's around, and then if you think we could take them, let's just run in and take them.
All right, 3 guards, 5 workers. We all heard it. I'll go in, do a pop around, and I'll be back.
Or maybe you could take me in and just say that I'm like a test subject.
I'll be right back. And I'm gonna pop in, and I am gonna do just that. I'm gonna walk down the main corridor, see if I see any signs for restroom, locker room.
Oh, Sid. Well, the second you go in, we're gonna open our map for the drug lab. So let me bring the players down here, but right now it's just Sid that's gonna be in it.
Oh
There we go. Yeah. And here you are outside, but we've brought Bick inside, right? And Bick, we can just see through your disguise right now. And so looking inside, you can now see, now you're looking more closely inside, that there are 2 big iron golem type things standing on either side of, you can see it, right? This sort of raised platform. These are big metal tanks that are kind of in the center of the room. Over to your right, you see all kinds of shelving over here. Like here and here. And in fact, Bick, you look around the corner and you see that this is clearly kind of a locker room over here. And then over here you see this huge pool of an unidentified substance that's kind of bubbling and burbling. And back here with another kind of golem type guard, you see these sorcerer-like dudes working at these different work tables. And that's what's happening. Okay, so... I need to move the players to the drug lab. There we go. Now you should be able to see it.
There we go.
Forgive me. Let me just show you again. So here to the right are all these shelves, and where they kind of it looks like kind of a locker room over down here to the right. Here's the big pool of strange liquid. Here are the iron golem type guys and the other workers, and they're all wearing those kind of weird hazmat robes. But Bick, you are right outside the door. Let me know when you'd like to enter. You can go ahead and use your movement to enter.
Yeah, I think Bick's gonna enter the space, see the golems right there, and immediately be like, not that way, and then look to the left, see the big pool of red magma, and be like, not that way. And automatically she's gonna head toward the right, and hopefully she also spies what you just told us kind of look like locker rooms. And I think as she goes in, she's kind of grumbling, and she's like, the suits always rip. It's always ripping these damn suits. And she's gonna go to the locker room.
So the first thing, the one other thing happens, which is when she goes through that doorway, she feels that black circlet, that obsidian circlet she's wearing, kind of hum for a second as she goes through the doorway. And she may make a perception roll to notice something about that.
Okay.
Or an arcana roll if she'd prefer.
Probably perception might not be good for anything. What's my perception? Okay, that's gonna be a 10 total.
Not enough to know anything else about that. Okay, you go over to where you see this locker room, and you can see it's kind of gated off a little bit, right? So there's sort of like this gate up in this like weird kind of like magical circle, and now you can make an Arcana roll to know something about our locker room here. Oh, by the way, looking down these little shelves, you do see that there are hanging hazmat suits everywhere.
Oh, but I can't get in because the gate's up.
Because there's like a gate up, yeah. It's like mesh chain link kind of wire, but it does seem to be kind of like glowing at this kind of lock area.
Okay, that's going to be a 15 total.
A 15 Arcana lets you know that some of these sigils look like the same as on your flying broom, and you guess that there's probably just a keyword.
Fuck. All right. I just say, open.
Nothing happens.
Okay, I try one more time and I say...
This is the rest of the episode.
I try one more time and I say, fuck. And I just turn around and I walk back out the front door and I go, fucking suit's ripped again, and I try to go back outside.
Okay, so you're going to go back outside? Okay, great. Your circlet does kind of hum again as you exit. And you return to your friends, and let's kind of hide these guys. You guys aren't like right out in the open like that. You're kind of over here, yeah. And you're kind of all like consulting about what to do about all this.
All right, so I don't think the suits are going to work out. There's a gate. There's 2 golems when you go inside. I think there's another code word. Oh, and then she quickly runs to the dude that she beat up to see if he's conscious to ask him the word.
Oh, great. Okay. So, he is like, Mother Kana's gonna gut you. You don't fuck with her. She's bad. She's real bad. She's bad mojo, baby. You're gonna need to do something to get this guy to talk and give you the keyword.
Yeah, I am going to take my dagger and cut his ear off.
He's like a dragonborn, so he doesn't really have an ear. He has like one of those like weird ear holes.
All right, I'm just going to be like, if you don't listen to me, I'm going to make your listening much harder by jamming my dagger into your ear hole, you big lizard. I'm not afraid of Mother Kana, and I need you to tell me the word to get in there.
I don't believe you. Elves are soft. You're going to have to make an intimidation roll.
Oh, really? Watch this. I'm gonna make my intimidation roll. Not that great, huh? That's a 9.
Oh, you might need a little help from your friends.
Can I
Are we around?
Yeah,
I bring them with. I brought them with me.
Can Grinson walk up from behind and just just like, please, you're no need to be frightening to someone who's just trying to do their job. Besides, there are other ways of loosening the tongue. Don't you agree? And I think that's when I will, yes. You can tell us, of course. That is the easy way. But as I said, there are other ways. And if I can just like prestidigitate my hand to look fucking gnarly.
As he's doing that, you just literally just see my hand just slowly on Grinson's shoulder, just be like, you could really tell us anything. As I cast guidance on Grinson.
Okay, so your creepy mage hand is going near this guy's face, and he remembers it because he got a little taste of it earlier. So you may make an intimidate, and you may use the guidance
add the +4.
And the plus, add the D4, add a D4.
Right. I had the power to be intimidating within me the whole time. Great. Let's see how I do. Okay. Okay, let's see what that D4 does. Okay, 18.
18. Okay, that's really good. And so suddenly he is like, no, don't do it again. I saw my own death. No.
Yes. More than see it.
The password to the locker room is clasp.
Clasp?
You see how easy that was? Well done. Well done, my boy. And then I turn around and I kind of look at Kiana and I was like, it seems you had it in you all along. And
Wink.
it's like, and, great.
All right, so I quickly do the same exact thing I did before. I grumble on my way in. I walk up to it. I say, class. Shoot, I can make them cheap.
The second you say clasp, Bick, the gate goes, all the light on it kind of goes dark for a second, and you can tell that it's open.
Great. I go in. I stuff 3 suits into my suit, so I have like a big Santa belly and a big butt, and I had huge boobs. And I come back through, and I do the same routine again, and I leave.
Okay, wait. How stealthy are you when you do this? Give me a stealth roll.
Okay, I just want to let you know that I'm very stealthy with it when I do it, but I'll give you the roll.
I mean, why bother really, but for fun.
10, 11, 12, 16.
16. Yeah, nicely done. Okay.
Okay.
So yes, you get back outside with the suits, and you hand them to your fellow adventurers, your fellow infiltrators.
But I make it very clear that we are most definitely going to have to fight because of, and I show them the necklace because I feel like it's important now. I was going to keep it a secret. So I took this off the Dragonborn. I have a feeling it's similar to the Jade Circlet, and if we go inside and you don't have one, some sort of magical alarm is going to be set off. So the suits may buy us some time, but we should prepare.
Okay.
Roger.
Okay. So let me know. Are you all entering?
Fish definitely drinks some rice wine with his tail to prepare for whatever's next.
Okay, great.
I pick up a big rock from outside and I put it in my pocket for later.
Great. Please add a rock to your inventory. Anybody else? Any final prep? So you're all wearing these like hazmat robes. Wait, what was the rock comment?
No, there's this big, awesome. It's got a book and a rock. Got so many cool things.
Well, your character can pick up rocks too, Ross. Would Grinson like to have a rock?
Well, now it just feels like a Johnny-come-lately thing to do.
It could be a different rock. Doesn't have to be the same
I find
rock.
one that's like that's actually really shiny and probably pretty cool.
Oh.
Okay, great. And could you make an intelligence roll for me, Bick?
Yes. 14 plus, what's my intelligence? 15.
Okay. All right, so let me know when you guys are ready to enter the area.
Before we go, can Grinson kind of like use Arcana to see if he knows anything more about the little, since it's been shown to us, the little obsidian charm? The
little obsidian circlet?
Yeah.
Yeah, Arcana.
Great.
Difficulty class 15.
15, here we go. And did I do it? I rolled a 14.
Interesting. What can I tell you? How can I have you succeed at a cost? These work as ID badges. These work as sort of like, your credentials to be here, that you are on the staff.
We've kind of sussed out, okay. So yeah, but we don't yet know if you cross the threshold without one. If it's like,
But maybe it's like a key card.
It might just be like a time card, like your.
Yeah. Oh, maybe, yeah. A little punch card.
Something.
Everybody make a perception roll.
Fuck.
And I just want to roll. I want to make sure everybody agrees that they are now disguised, right? They are in their outfits. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Did you say perception?
Yes, please.
16.
15.
I rolled a 10, so I'm going to use my inspiration to re-roll that.
You might want to save that actually, Noura, because I don't know that if your friends have succeeded, maybe they can just tell you.
All
I
right.
got a 14.
Okay, so 15 or higher, you realize someone is coming out of the building right now.
Hold. Seems that we have someone coming this way.
And you hear a voice saying, "Drifted? Break's over. Drifted."
I go.
Must be the guy outside.
I turn around
Yes.
with my helmet on. Wait, can you see through the helmets?
Yes, absolutely. They're more like hoods, but with like a part that covers your mouth a little bit. So
I don't
just like
turn
kind of
around.
like while this like the ninja part of your skin is visible. Does that make sense? So
Take him out.
Seems like we might want to take if.
I go. Oh, Drift is around this corner. I saw him walk off smoking a cigarette. And I point him toward us. I call him
Okay,
over.
so this guy in like a red robe comes around the corner and he's like kind of casting things. Who knows? Maybe he's like casting like spells to kind of like figure out where his friend is gone. And he turns and he sees 4 of you in hazmat suits. And Bick is like, Drifted went around the corner, and Bick needs to roll a deception roll. And if she does, this guy suspects nothing. But if she fails, this guy's gonna know something's weird.
Ooh, natural 17. I don't think my deception's that high, but hold on. 18, dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is, I'm going to just let him roll his wisdom and see if he can suss out that you are lying to him. Holy shit. Wait, what's his wisdom here? Wisdom +1. He got a 20 as well. So you got a 20, he got a dirty 20 as well. And he's like, wait a second. And then he's going to just start running.
Okay, can I do something?
Yeah, I think that we should roll initiative.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
I thought we'd be able to pick them off one by
Dang
one.
9.
Nash
It's a
20.
9.
Nice.
Nash 20, that's great.
Here we go.
Instead of 20.
I'm at a 10.
10 for our
And-
friend Grin. And what did you say, Noura?
I rolled a 6.
Keena's at a 6, and this guy is at a... I mean, guys, my initiative rolls are so sad. This guy's also at a 6. What's your dexterity?
My
Keena?
dex is at +3.
+3, so you're going to go ahead and beat him. It's going to be you, Keena, and then... So all of you are doing better than this guy. Okay, great, cool, that's fine.
got the jump
I'm fine
on him.
with that. Okay, so that means everybody gets a shot. Bick, he's running back in.
Yeah, I am immediately just going to run after him and try to grapple him to stop his movement.
Oh, great. You're going to run after him and grapple him. I love that. Go ahead and you run up and you take an attack roll against him.
16. Oh, no, 17.
17 is a hit. And so I believe you have grappled him. His speed is 0. And I think he can make strength rolls to get out of your grip. But right now you have him.
And
so-
she's real good at scrapping, so she has him in like an arm bar wrestling move, holding him, waiting for everyone to just like take shots.
Right. Okay, great. Everybody can take shots because he's going last in the initiative order. And so we now come to... Bick comes up behind him, grabs his arm, pulls him back, and he's like... he's a real wimp. And then it's Grinson's turn.
Okay, so everyone is kind of. So Bick is the only one nearby him.
Right now, Bick is the only one nearby him, but
Okay.
yeah.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
be a little bit.
take your shot. It's okay.
I'm gonna be a little bit risky. I'm gonna.
Take your shot.
I want this fella to quiet down. So I'm just like, you just see Grinson like hold his finger up to the mouth of the mask. He's just like, shh, as I cast sleep on this guy.
Oh, great. Okay, great.
So I roll 5d8. And I'm counting on this guy having a lower HP than Bick. We'll see. So the creature who has the lowest current HP takes the number of d8 I rolled. Basically, if it takes down their HP that level, they fall asleep. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, so if it covers his HP, he falls asleep, right?
And then whoever else is in that 20-foot radius absorbs the rest. So Bick would take whatever this fool doesn't take.
So how many?
29.
29 does not he has quite a bit of HP. These guys are
well, that tells us
these
something.
guys are toughies. And so Bick
Bick falls asleep.
Bick falls asleep and lets him go.
Oh no.
But
I'm so
it's still
sorry.
not his turn. It's still not his turn.
That's so funny.
So Grinson goes, shh, and Bick looks over and I'm like, hey, wait, no. Drops to the ground to sleep.
Oh no.
Okay, sorry.
Grinson remembers Bick getting defeated by a goblin and is like, yes, that fair cop. That's on me.
Great. Well, good thing your other two players have a chance to save this. So that takes us to Fish.
Okay, is he still down on the ground?
You mean our sorcerer, our technician here?
Our technician, yeah.
Yes. So he's kind of standing right here because he was being grappled but no longer. So
okay. So do you think he's gotten up or do you think he's still on the ground? I guess I'm asking, do I have advantage on this attack?
So are you moving to him and attacking?
Yeah.
Fish, are you telling me you're moving to the guy and just attacking him?
I'm gonna try to go over to him and grab him with my claws and drag him out of the line of sight from inside.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes total sense. I'm gonna say you don't have advantage, and the reason is he was never on it. He was never on the ground. He was never like tackled. I think Bick had him like by the arms and was like had him grappled, but didn't have him on the ground. So, but this is a great move. So you can run over. And you can attempt to grapple him as well. You're kind of grappling him.
14.
14, and his AC is I'm so sorry, that does not hit our man. And so your claws just go shy of him. You rip open like his suit. And do you have anything else you'd like to use?
I don't.
Okay. So you don't have any key points you can spend to like try to hit him again or something like that?
I do. I think that I actually get like an additional hit on him. I get an automatic unarmed strike whenever I use the attack action with an unarmed strike.
That's
so
right.
I automatically get another attack. I'm gonna try again with the claws.
Okay.
Nope.
Holy shit, this guy's slippery. Luck of the devils. Speaking of devils, it's completely up to our tiefling paladin, Kina. Kina, this guy is getting away. He's about to run back inside of the drug lab. And then he'll set up the alarm and things will get nasty for all of you. Kina, what do you do?
So I see him doing this and I just run full speed towards him, and then with my unsheathing my sword with one hand, you see me as I'm running towards him. All of a sudden I slide and skid down on the floor, and then with one big swoop over, sweeping the floor, I go to chop his feet off as he's running away.
Holy shit. So chopping someone's feet off is so crazy that if you want to do as we've done before, so you have exactly, I think, enough movement to get over there, especially with your like flight speed. If you want to kind of hop this column, right, and kind of like jump in front of him and then just try to slash his feet off. I'll allow it. I want you to try to attack at disadvantage, and if you do that, you have seriously injured his legs. Does that work for you?
Yes, I'm just trying to get him to stop running.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So at a disadvantage, I rolled, because I rolled an 18 and a 19. So
Oh God, thank you.
23 to hit.
So thank God the paladin, she starts
savior.
running, she unsheathes her sword, she flaps into the air, lands on the steps in front of him, and swings and just kneecaps him with both knees with the sword. Hot blood squirts out of his hazmat robes, and he kind of falls onto his knees going,
So I dealt 10 points of damage, but then I also expend a spell slot to cast Divine Smite on him.
That's a great idea. And give me the total damage against this man.
So total damage with the extra 2d8, that's going to be 23 points.
Wow.
3 points of damage. He's taken, I mean, that's a heavy blow. And not every bad guy will fight to the death. So he's now going like, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. Oh God.
And I just put my finger to my mouth to shh.
He's all yours. Oh, and then you hear like a contented snore from behind you.
And I think that's when I walk up to Bick and I'm kind of like shaking them awake.
What? No, don't hurt. I'm hurt. Who is it? Mother.
Terribly sorry. Terribly sorry. My fault.
You. Oop. Oop. No, I won't say anything. Not in the presence of others. And I turn and the guy's like right there with his legs chopped off.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Wow.
We managed. No thanks to me.
Maybe we grab him and we drag him back over to where the other guy is, and then also take his black circle thing.
Genius.
Well,
Our
we
pile of
can
bodies.
have him lead us through this place.
Not anymore.
without
You
feet.
chopped off his feet.
Can he still walk?
We'd need a wheelbarrow or something.
He
other guy
could walk.
can.
He could walk. I mean, like, no, actually, he can't. I'm
other
gonna
guy.
say that his movement he's slowed, so he'll be like spraying blood, and he'll be like hobbling and limping.
I
Okay,
think
then
we
throw him in
should-
the pile.
We should have him. I think Fish. That's a great idea. We bring him over to the pile, and I think I take out my notebook and I flip to an empty page, and I say, "Draw the best route through there, where we're not going to see any more of whatever you are."
Interesting. Okay, the route through the drug lab where you're not going to see any more technicians. He just says like, stay out front. You won't see us if you stay out front in the locker area, or you probably won't see us if you're only going into the supply.
Your circlet, give it to me.
He gives you a circlet.
Where can we find more circlets?
Only staff carry them. There might be a supply somewhere in the treasure vault or the pleasure dome, but they're given to us by the Red Wave.
The sigils. What's the passwords?
The latch is the password to the supply, and clasp is the password to the locker room.
I write all of this down. And what's your name?
My name? I'm Tastic.
Tastic, take off your robe. I like it better. I want that.
It's kind of covered in my own blood, but okay.
Isn't it red? Isn't the robe red? Does it matter?
Yeah. Actually, you're right. It's not super noticeable because he has a red robe. He gives you his robe.
I say that. It's actually not that noticeable. You can't even notice, darling. I take it.
Why are you here? What are you trying to do?
Fish just like hisses at him and smacks him.
I might ask you the same question. What has brought you to this turn of life?
All the gold I can imagine. And a free pass to the Pleasure Dome, my friend.
But of course.
What is your life about? Are you on some noble quest? Here to vanquish the evil villain? You fool.
I'm afraid I gave up the path of valiant quite some time ago. I'm simply looking for my man Skunt.
Skunt? Oh. He's one of you, huh? Yeah. We did him. We figured out what he was all about. Yeah. He ended up working for us. But, not in the way he thought he would. Eventually, everyone ends up out in the fields. Just like you will.
Wait, what are the fields?
Yes, and if we look very briefly at our map. Wait, I have to bring the players to the map. Yes, we can see, if you look, that there's a huge farming operation back behind the whole complex. He says that Skunt is there working for them now. And now we will go back to our drug lab.
Very well.
Yes, you must tell me. Yes,
wait.
thank you.
What do you use from the island, the natural plant? What is it for the drugs?
The orchids here. The shadow orchids. They grow in certain groves.
But that's
In the
not all it
jungle.
is it? There's something a bit unnatural about this island.
Oh, yeah. The secret ingredient. Yeah. I'm not saying shit. You guys probably work for a rival operation. You think you're gonna take our secret recipe? No way.
I'd say you're the one in bad shape right now. So you better tell us what it is, and do not tell me friendship, because I will smack you.
How did you know which joke I was gonna make? You tieflings, I hear you read minds. Yeah, and you bring plague. Can I put my helmet back on if I gotta be around this demon spawn?
I just backhand him.
Ow! My face! Why?
It's funny when you do that.
Let's just say the secret
It
ingredient.
feels good. If anybody else wants to take a crack at it?
Fish definitely wants to. He leaps up and hisses and then just claw swipes the guy in the face.
Oh, wow. Don't bother making an attack roll. Just give me how much damage you would do.
Okay. Seven.
Okay. Now, you've sliced his face and you've kind of sliced his lip open, and he's like, "Hey, what the fuck? Why are you doing this? I gave you the information. Shit! Oh, my mouth!"
Oops.
I'm just gonna make a roll for people that are off screen.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay. So you guys are out here. You're questioning this guy. You need to, because you know the DM's rolling off camera. You need to do something or move on, because maybe someone's gonna notice he's missing soon.
Let's see.
well, we're all dressed up and with nowhere to go. Should we go inside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the party, without his body, moves up to the doorway, and
Can we say that we've incapacitated him even more in some way, like knocked him out, so he's not screaming and bellowing?
Yeah.
Yes, and I would like to know who is going in.
Great.
And what order?
I'm
I
going.
want a marching order, and you can put your characters in that order just there at the door. I kind of placed Grinson, but he doesn't have to be front line. He could be back here, but just show me what order you're all going in.
I'll be frontline.
Yeah, I'll be frontline too. I have a costume and a necklace, so I feel pretty good.
That's the same with you, Kina, right?
Yes.
Okay, so very good.
Yeah.
And everybody is in costume.
Right.
So, are we ready to enter?
I would say that
Ready.
like, as I'm like after that dude has his Tastic has his lips split open, it's just like, yes, it's a shame. Perhaps we are working for a rival operation. And if he's working in the fields, perhaps it's time for someone else to be put out to pasture. As my hand closes around his head and just like necrotically sucks his consciousness out until he's knocked out.
Done.
Shall we?
Done. Okay, that was a tiny flashback, and now we're all at the doorway. And so I will have whoever would like to go first, Bick or Kina, you can move in and do your full walking speed. You can actually go anywhere. Like, show me where you're gonna go.
I am gonna wait. Let me check my distance. I'm gonna go. I already know those are locker rooms, so I am gonna go just further of the locker rooms to the shelving on the right hand side, because the guy mentioned storage and like supply, and maybe there'd be more circlets. So I'm gonna go right to there and just kind of scope.
Very good. So you see another kind of like locked door, although you got the password out of him, which is latch. These like circles kind of keep certain shelves. You see how they're kind of around certain shelves that they don't want people messing with, and you see lots of vials of like black liquid sitting on those shelves in these little racks. And so that's where you go. Kino, where would you like to go?
Let's split up. This will be fun. I'm gonna go in this direction to kind of investigate what this mysterious red liquid is.
You may make a nature roll when you come up and look at the mysterious red liquid. It is a DC 18 nature roll. Alternately, Kina, you may make an Arcana roll, only DC 15.
Okay, well, I don't get a bonus to any of that, so I'm going to give myself guidance while I roll.
Good idea.
But I only rolled a 4 total with guidance. Oh, I have inspiration. I'm going to use it.
Okay.
And that time I rolled a 19 with the guidance was one, so dirty 20.
Suddenly, Kina realizes what the secret ingredient of Black Rainbow is. She moves up to the pool. It is not people. She remembers Fish's story about how her mentor, her sage, the brass dragon Thanu, disappeared from her monastery, and Kina realizes she's looking at a giant pool of dragon blood, and that these pipes seem to carry it from another part of the complex into this pool. They are milking poor Thanu's blood to add the secret ingredient to the shadow orchids and create Black Rainbow. And now it is Fish's turn. Fish, would you like to enter the compound?
Fish is a little scared to enter the compound without that black necklace.
Then he does not have to. He can do whatever he'd like.
Yeah. I guess Fish is just gonna like chill, like over here behind the door or something.
Yeah. And what
She's
about
gonna
you,
chill.
Grinson?
I feel like I'm in the same way. I'm concerned that if I walk through Sand's circlet, I'm gonna bring down Fire and Fury. So I'm gonna, I think, tuck myself right in, just outside the doorway, and kind of cover our friends as they move throughout the facility.
I would just like to say, congrats to our players on very smart and careful play. You have 2 of your party inside now, and you've discovered the horrifying secret of the drug Black Rainbow. When we return next time, can they get 2 more black circlets for their friends and come in here and take out this drug operation? What else can they find inside the drug lab on Temple Bay? We will return very soon to answer these and other questions, and hopefully have a big combat and a total party kill. Who knows? It could happen. These guys are playing really smart. I don't know if I'll be able to get one. But for now, we will say au revoir, arrivederci, and goodbye. We'll be back soon with more Wicked Empire on the Glass Cannon Network. Yeah! Rah! Wicked Empire!
Thank you.